Guys, the new subclass Strand is upon us. Today we're going to be giving you an overview of everything in Strand, breaking down all the various subclasses, including all the fragments, neutral game abilities, etc., with some light gameplay showcasing all of this. Granted, pretty much right after this video, we are going to be launching Strand builds at you left and right. And by the way, Strand is absolutely nasty. Now, before we get into the breakdowns of everything, I do want to jump into the verbs real quick. We actually have 6 of them: suspend, unravel, sever, tangles, threadlings, and woven mail. Starting with suspend though, the target is immobilized by a web of strand matter, lifting them into the air, and while suspended, guardians are unable to move freely, combatants are unable to move or fire the weapon, and unstoppable champions are stunned. Suspended targets also unwind into a tangle when they are defeated. It's actually kind of nuts. Now jumping over to tangle, tangles is a knot of strand matter. Swirling with potential, tangles can be shot and destroyed or picked up and thrown, dealing damage. And defeating targets afflicted by a strand debuff will unwind them and create a tangle. So many crazy things you can do here with tangle, guys. Now unravel. The target is permeated with destructive strand matter. As they take additional damage, they create unraveling projectiles that seek nearby targets. Now unraveling rounds from your strand weapons pierce shields of barrier champions and also stuns them. By the way, there are so many things that synergize with strand weapons. Unraveled targets also unwind into a tangle when they are defeated. Now sever. The target's connections to the world around them are cut and their outgoing damage is significantly reduced. Severed targets unwind also into a tangle when they are defeated. Now threadlings. These creepy fellas, a creature woven from pure strand matter that seeks nearby targets and attacks, dealing damage. No lie, these guys track aggressively. Now woven mail. Your body is encased in protective mesh of tightly woven strand matter, greatly reducing any incoming non-precision damage. Yes, this works in PvE and inside of PvP. Now before we jump into the subclasses, let's talk about the neutral game abilities, that being our grenades. This is on all 3 classes, but starting with the grapple, which actually takes the place of your grenade, weaving a grappling hook and quickly pull yourself forward. Grappling to a tangle immediately recharges your grenade energy. Now during and shortly after grappling, your melee attack deals area damage and unravels targets. Crazy synergy, guys. Yes, you could proc it with melee based exotics. Disgusting. Now shackle grenade, a thrown weapon of weighted strand matter that detonates on impact, suspending targets and creating additional suspending. Literally immediate counterplay to champs. Now threadling grenade, a woven projectile that reweaves itself into 3 threadlings while in flight. So again, guys, these are grenades and abilities split between all 3 subclasses. Now bringing us to the subclass portion here, starting with our Titan, we have the Berserker. Now their super is called Blade Fury. You actually create these 2 woven blades. The light attack is actually you performing this leaping slash, and it's got some crazy lunge. It does sever on hit and deal bonus damage to suspended targets. Now each successful hit briefly increases your attack speed and grants energy for your heavy attack. Now heavy attack, this is where you can actually suspend your targets. It unleashes a heavy upward slash, creating 2 suspending projectiles that seek out targets. You can see here, guys, you can actually do a heavy attack first, suspend, and then swoop in with the light attacks. Now our melee ability here on Berserker, it's called Frenzied Blade. Activate your charge melee ability to dash forward, slashing at targets in front of you and severing them. By the way, you get 3 charges of this melee. Now the 2 aspects we have here on the Berserker includes Into the Fray, which enhances your armor with woven mail and increases your melee regeneration. And Drinker's Lash, unleash a frontal shockwave, which suspends targets caught in the blast. Guys, I'm so excited to show you the builds we have here. We're trying to keep this as an overview video, but I cannot wait. Now for my warlocks, we have Broodweaver. The super, Needle Storm. You actually weave this cloud of strand before shattering it, and you cause a hellstorm of these piercing missiles that detonate upon impact. Now the detonations can actually reweave themselves into threadlings that will seek out and destroy targets when needed. And the melee here, similar to that of the Titan class, you also get 3 charges. It's called Arcane Needle, and you throw a strand needle that tracks your target and unravels them. Really cool animations here. Now the aspects here on Warlock, one of them is called Weaver's Call. When casting a rift, you weave 3 threadlings on the ground in front of you, and Mind Spun, Invocation, and power your grenade with additional Broodweaver specific qualities. So for your grapple, this allows you, when executing your grapple melee, the Warlock actually will weave 3 threadling eggs from the targets, which is nuts. The threadling grenade, you can consume your threadling grenade to generate a full complement of perch threadlings. That's right, guys. Rock a max discipline build and just consume. And shackle grenade, consuming your shackle grenade to gain a buff, creating a suspending detonation on every kill. And you can see here, guys, when combined with other people rocking Strand, especially the shackle grenade, Mind Spun, you're suspending targets. Say a Berserker Titan comes in, they're doing light attacks and dealing bonus damage to those suspended targets. It's nuts. Now moving to our hunters, the Threadrunner. The super is called Silk Strike. We've vicious rope dart and tear through your targets. The line attack allows you to swing this rope dart in front of you to deal damage, and the tip of the dart actually deals bonus damage. A little bit of finesse here, guys. And defeating targets with the tip causes them to explode. Now, the heavy attack, which has a heck of a lot of girth, you swing the rope dart in a circular motion to deal heavy damage all around you. It's honestly insane, guys. I mean, we've seen gameplay of it before, but it's insane to see how much reach it actually has. Now, while Silk Strike is active, you have unlimited uses of your grapple. Huge! Literally Spider-Man. Now, the melee ability, Threaded Spike. You throw a rope dart that bounces between targets, damaging and severing them. Now, the dart will return to you once it's done, returning melee energy in the process, and it's based on how many targets you hit. Kill is not required here, guys. Now, when you press your melee just as the dart is coming back to you, you can catch it, and this actually increases the amount of energy returned. Now, the aspects here on Hunter includes Ensnaring Slam. You activate your air move to consume your class ability energy and dive to the ground. This suspends all nearby targets on impact. Keep in mind though, guys, using this ability does extend class ability cooldown time. Now, Widow's Silk, you gain an additional grenade charge. Your grapple also creates a grapple tangle at the grapple point, which refunds grapple energy when latched to. Are you seeing this, fellas? Is this not insanity? Now, moving into the fragments, we have Thread of Evolution. Threadlings travel further and deal additional damage. Literally make that army of creepy crawlies even nastier. Now, Thread of Propagation. Power melee final blows grant your strand weapons unraveling rounds. Now, Thread of Transmutation. While you have Woven Mail, weapon final blows creates a tangle. Thread of Rebirth. Strand weapon final blows have a chance to create a Threadling. Thread of Wisdom. Defeating suspended targets with precision final blows creates an Orb of Power. Again, there are so many things synergizing with Orbs of Power now, guys, with all the different subclass changes. Wells and Charged with Light essentially merging as one, so you want Orb creation. Now, Thread of Warding. Picking up an Orb of Power grants you Woven Mail. Thread of Finality. Finish your final blows creates Threadlings. Thread of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapons and grants bonus airborne effectiveness and handling for a short duration. Now, Thread of Continuity. Suspend, unravel, and sever effects applied to a target have increased duration. Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. Thread of Binding. Super final blows emit a suspending burst from the target. Thread of Isolation. Landing rapid precision hits emits a severing burst from the target. Thread of Fury. Damaging targets with a tangle grants melee energy. Thread of Mind. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy. So, guys, as you can see, there's so much synergy here, and you're probably already starting to build craft in your head on what to use with your favorite class. This is an overview video. I hope you enjoyed it. I just kind of wanted to showcase what you're looking at with all of these Strand classes. We will be breaking down builds though immediately. We have so many things to show you. So if you're new here, subscribe, stick around. We've got a load of nasty coming your way. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.